Hello, our beautiful souls, beautiful divine feminines, awakened conscious twin flames. This is Joanne and Elizabeth here at World's Cup of Joe. Awaken your soul. You are all in luck. Me and Elizabeth are here sharing truth bombs in this twin flame connection. If you're new here, me and Elizabeth are both in permanent relating experiences with our twin flames for years now. They're permanently in our space, our life. They live with us. We balance this cray-cray connection daily, and we help other beautiful souls do the same. We are so conscious of this connection and energy that we can literally handhold beautiful souls from start to finish, regardless of where they're at in their journey. Whether your person's been running from you for years, or you just woke up from dark night, or you're going through the really, really like crazy addictive energy. It doesn't matter where you're at. Me and Elizabeth can guide you, handhold you step by step from wherever you are all the way to the space of balanced, neutralized energy, which is neutral, peaceful union energy. This is the energy that magnetized our twin flames back. This is the energy that brings twin flames back to their divine masculine space, where we always say, of course, because we can feel your energy, my loves. We know your energy. We can spot it. And as soon as you start to shift, because we can feel it in your comments, we can feel it in our calls, we know your twin flame is coming. We know your twin flame is close. It's based on energy, and we can watch this energy like freaking pros. And we're technically such pros, we can spot in our own connections because we're balancing it daily. So you guys are in great hands. You have the balancing queens that's permanently balancing our twin flames. No one teaches balancing in this connection. A lot of times, actually, twins, divine feminines manifest their twin flames, and then they don't know what to do with their person coming back, and they push again. And that's where we really are there to guide you. We're here to help you balance. We're here to help you neutralize your energy so you can get back into soul, get back into magnetizing, and get back into balancing your union energy. So we have this really awesome sale for you guys. We know that this journey is cray. It's so freaking cray, but this journey is also really beautiful. And we have all stumbled into this really special place that no one can touch. We are awakened because of this journey, regardless of how painful, because it's really effing painful. We get it. We're conscious, we're awakened, and we're the exceptional few that is awakened in our journey. In all of our now moments, we now get to be conscious. And this, my love, is a gift. Being conscious is a gift. I'm so happy and so freaking grateful that I can be conscious. I can watch my mind, right? I can watch my mind, my fear-based energies, and I can be conscious of them and be conscious in all of my now moments. We have a St. Patrick's Day special that we want to share with all of you guys to allow all of you to see the amazing gifts of this journey wherever you are in your own journey. Start shifting, my love. You are one of the few blessed, really gifted, lucky souls that got awakened. And so we want to bless you all with lucky 33% off in all of our twin flame programs and our coaching calls. Take a look at our store. We're going to open it up just for the holiday here so that you can really start taking advantage of the beauty in this journey by balancing your connection. You can start off with the 30-day twin flame detox program if your person is not in communication with you, and start shifting in your connection. Start changing the push and pull dynamic and have them come to you for a change. Have them seek you. Have them crave you for a change. And once your person comes back, we highly recommend to start balancing, love. Again, no one teaches balancing. Our ultimate balancing program is included in the sale. Our one-on-one calls are in the sale. If you're going through kind of like a situation where you're not in communication at all, your person hasn't reached out in a while, make a book a session with us and see if we can spot the leaks that are still lingering between you and your connection, keeping you from being together. And we're here to guide you and help you in this crazy yet beautiful journey. So
Joanne, I think that's actually a perfect segue to actually what this topic's about, because this beautiful soul that wrote a message on our YouTube page was actually leaking and didn't realize she was leaking in her question. And that's what we mean by if you may not have closed out all the leaks you think you have, but yet you're still not in this space where you are drawing your person back in, there's highly likely that there's some kind of underlying leak still open. And that's what we love to do with our clients, is really get deep with them and figure out where that is. And almost all the time, like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that was a leak.
Yeah.
Yep, it was a leak. Okay, go ahead, love.
And that's where we have divine feminines magnetize their twin flame. We just shared with you guys, I had a client who hasn't seen their person they have different time zones, haven't talked to them in such a long time. They hung up on the phone with us. And in that phone call, love, this is where we were able to help them shift. They were having a lot of doubt in their journey and a lot of limiting beliefs in their connection. And we were able to help them really have peace, calmness, that obviously mine was on, right? And in that moment when we hung up, it wasn't more than 10 minutes, I would say. The person contacted them and was blowing them up in that very instance. How does that happen? We weren't in contact, Joanna and Elizabeth. I get on a call with you. As soon as we hang up, I put myself in this situation where I'm now like interacting with my person. And so what we're trying to share with you guys, all of you, is the shifts are internal and they're instant. They can be instant when you're ready for it. And we're here to help you really, really balance your energy so that you can be in the space where you can allow your twin flame to come in wherever they are, however far away they are, because that's what it feels like when your person is just gone. You don't even know where they are and how they can come. But once those leaks are close, my love, because we close them very, very tightly. We're like tight as possible. Because here's another example. We have a beautiful soul. They've been separated from their person, I would say almost 8 years. They shifted on a call with us, and their person ran into an event that they didn't even know their person was going to. They went to an event, they ran into their person in that space for no freaking reason. 8 years, my loves. How does that happen? Again, this whole connection is energy. So we want to use this opportunity to help you all really feel into this question. This is going to help you really shift through your connection and really get through these energetic shifts. So read it to you guys because I want you to really feel into this so we can all help you shift. Beautiful soul said they have a lot of respect for us both, and said maybe we're wired like as exceptions, right? As they stated before, so this is what they said. As you stated before, the mind is always there, even further down the road. There's no 100% in being as long as we are here. Sometimes for us, in order to stop the push, you need to get the text out of the way, out of your system, out of mine. At least that is for my take.
So when this beautiful soul said sometimes in order to get rid of the push, you have to reach out to stop the push. And no, that is not getting rid of the push. That's just creating more push. Because remember, everything is in this now moment. So if you are in the energy where, oh my gosh, I need to send something, you're in addictive energy, and therefore you're in mind, and therefore you are pushing. So how is a better way to navigate this energy that's needing to be pushed out? It needs to be neutralized. Indication that she just wants to reach out to stop this push. What that is doing is satiating the mind with that hit. It's not stopping leaking. It's actually furthering the leak, and it's actually getting a hit off of that energy. So that's why we say that's a leak right there. It's a leak. So what could this beautiful soul do instead of messaging? She could write it down, go within, start asking herself why. And when we want to stress this, you're always doing this as a conscious awakened soul, now you are awakened, when you are going within and trying to figure out what is going on with the mind, why the mind is feeling this addictive energy, you're doing it from the third person standpoint because you are not your mind. So you're already right there separating the mind from soul when you do this. So what does that look like? It looks like this. Why does the mind feel it needs to reach out right now? What is going on within me? And you got to sit with that, and you got to feel what the answer is, because the mind obviously has this urgent need, right? Because urgency is mind. Soul has no record of time. Soul is just now. If you are feeling this urgent need that it has to be done right now, then mind is involved. So you would ask yourself, why is the mind feeling this need to reach out right now? What is the mind hoping for in return? What is the mind expecting? What is the mind trying to feel going through it, right? And so you start asking these questions and you sit with the answers that come up, and they might not come up right away. This is where the hard inner work in this journey is. And we've said in other videos, if you're not in a place to do this inner work, sometimes it's better to just go back to presence. So if you're not really in the emotional space to do this deep work, you're going to sit there and say, okay, I'm not going to text right now because it's mind, but I need to bring myself back to presence. So that's one way. But the second way is to get deep, and you start asking yourself and see what comes up. Okay, well, the mind is feeling really lonely right now, or the mind is missing my person, or the mind is feeling like I need to share. And then you start going, okay, well, why is the mind lonely? And then you keep getting deeper. You keep going to the next layer of what's going on with the mind. And I'm going to tell you guys, when you start doing this, you're going to see that almost every single time, whatever's going on with the mind stems back to childhood, stems back to early adolescence, stems back to like prior relationships. And it has nothing to do with your person. Your mind uses your person because your person is your greatest addiction. It is also your catalyst into your full spiritual awakening. Your mind uses your person to escape the emotions, the samskaras that have been buried for sometimes weeks, months, sometimes years, to escape the pain that your mind has been trying to hide from for a long time. So instead, it reverts to the old familiar, the constant, which is my person, my person, my person. It is easier to think about your person and to obsess and focus on them and that energy than to really sit with what's going on, the true reason behind your awakening, which is to shed these samskaras so you can be one with soul. So anytime the mind says, I just need to send this message, no, I'm in mind. I must be in mind. And now how do I get out of there? Well, I need to identify a soul. Soul is the observer. I need to separate myself from the mind. The mind is the one that is experiencing this. The mind is feeling these things. The mind is feeling this urgency. So this is why we say, like, we love spotting leaks with people, because so often people are leaking, they don't realize it, and they're going to continue looping in the addictive energy, which is keeping their person away. So when this beautiful soul said that Joanna and I are exceptional, we're not exceptional. We just really, really, really have focused and been intentional with our awakening, and really, really focused on making ourselves a priority. And that's the only difference when someone is balanced or not balanced is, am I ready to choose me and do this work that is painful? It is hard. Or am I still wanting to stay and circle in the stories? Because it's okay. We've been there too. There's many times I'm like, I'm in mind and I don't want to get out of mind. It's really, really hard for me to get out of mind if that must neutralize me. Because on this journey, it's very, very lonely. You can't just talk to your regular friend and have them take you into a place of neutrality, because they're not awakened. They don't know how to raise your energy from these low scales up into this place of neutral, because the energy feels much different. So let's say, for this example, this beautiful soul, let's say this beautiful soul called us when she was in the midst of feeling that I need to just reach out to stop my addictive energy. She would have called us. We would have gone through those scenarios with her of what's going on with the mind right now. Let's get deep with you. And we would have helped bring her to a place of surrender in that call, and helped her shift out of feeling like she needed a push. And that's what we do. That's what we love to do, because so many beautiful souls are lost in this journey. It's hard doing it alone. And that's why we make content for you guys that shows what balancing truly is like, because no one talks about it. And we want to say this, the journey never ends. We talk all the time about stuff that we have to balance with our own people. The journey doesn't end when our people come back. That's just when the balancing starts. And that's when you really, really have to double down on going within and making the intention and focus on you. And it's so hard because the mind loves the hits of your person. They are truly our one greatest addiction. I know my addiction with food that I'd had my entire life stopped the moment I met my person. And guess what? As soon as I balanced my person, guess what came back? My addiction to food. Why is that? Because the addictive energy has to go somewhere. And my addiction to food has all of the remnants of everything, all the samskaras I've been bearing my whole life based on my weight and my insecurity and my body image. And it all correlates to the food. The food is just a causation, and it's just one thing that correlates to all the deep wounds. But while I was focusing on my person, all that went to the wayside because the addictive energy was diverted to my person. Well, now I'm balanced, and guess what? I'm dealing with my main original issues. And that's what I'm working on. So it's one of the things of this journey. It doesn't end literally until you are Buddha itself. We are all awakening. We are becoming Buddha. That's what Buddha means, awakened one. We are becoming that. But every time we choose to go back to mind, we're choosing to go back to sleep. And that's why we're not fully Buddha, right? That's why we still have more work to do on this journey. We are not fully awakened until we no longer go back to sleep. And every time we are choosing to get the hits off mind, to leak, to act out in this place of emotions, we're now just turning that light switch on and going back to sleep. We want to be conscious. That's our goal, to be conscious. And so I want to assure you, this is normal. It's so freaking normal. But the fact, if you can start spotting it, catching it, and then closing those things out, that's when the shifts happen. That's when the permanent changes come. And that's when you really start feeling the magic of this journey. Go ahead, love.
So the need to push is very urgent, right? It's like, oh my gosh, I need to push, I need to push, I need to push. And the inner work, so this is where the inner work really comes in, is really going within and being like, why the F does the mind need to push? But that's not the case. When there's this urgent need to push, you're not even in that state to be conscious of it. But here's how I want to help you shift and everyone else shift that wants to push. The need to push, the urgent need to push, is mind wanting to get a hit, a leak of their favorite drug, and take a little, just a little bit. I'll just send that text. I'll just look at their social media. I'm just going to see a psychic real quick. It's not a big deal. I'll just balance tomorrow, right? And so the need to push, that part that just says, I'll just get a little bit, right? That's the part that goes back to sleep. It's unconscious. It's feeding the addictive energy. And it doesn't matter how much push. Push is a push. You push a little bit, they pull a little bit. You push a lot of it, they pull a lot of it. And it's accumulative. So it's not like I'm pushing like a little bit right now, and then tomorrow push a little bit, and then I'm good again, and you're still pushing. The energy still has to go somewhere, right? The energy doesn't get to be recreated. It just still goes out. So what happens when you push? They pull. They pull. That's the connection. That's the reality. You push, they pull. You push, they pull in tandem on the other side. So you want to send that text. Well, on the other side of that text is them pulling away from you. And so what good does it do when you're sending the text just so you can get more hits for the mind, right? That's the mind. You know why, love? Why does the mind want you to push? It's because the mind doesn't want you to be with your twin flame. It doesn't. Because if you're with your twin flame, you would have to watch the mind. If you're with your twin flame in the physical, the mind is constantly watched all the time. It's like you're watching it so closely, and it's like, I see your mind, but you're not running me in my connection because I am the conscious one. When Elizabeth says Buddha, right, the awakened one, that's our role. That's a divine feminine's job, to be conscious, to be awakened, to be able to watch the addictive energy, the one that wants to push, and watch that need to push and be conscious of it. You're the only one that can stop the push, my love, because you're the one pushing. Your person's not pushing. Your person's ready to be with you. You're pushing. Your person's on the other side, distracted. When you're pushing, their mind's going to distract them with everything else but you. That's the reality of this journey. That's the way this connection works. You push, they pull. But you know what changes? It's when you start to pull your energy back in. You start to draw them in through your energy. Remember, they're you. So when the mind was saying, let me just send this text out to them, you're in separation consciousness. So instead of pushing, because we're going to tell you right now, we've done that 1,100,000 times. It didn't work. It only made them pull. And it just was more painful. Even if the mind was a little bit satiated for that moment, you got it out of the way. On the other side of that push is them pulling on the other side. And it's painful. So this is a connection that is asking us to be conscious of the addictive energy. And we understand it's hard. We know it's hard. That's why we're here. That's why this channel is here. My challenge for you is when you need to push, pop one of our videos. We're going to remind you that this connection is about you. We're going to remind you that this is your soul's journey. We're going to remind you that you are the conscious one and you're going to balance your connection through you. You can push, but what we want to show you is how to pull your energy back in so that you can magnetize. I don't know about you guys, but I would rather be magnetizing not only my person, but my most amazing life than pushing and being in that fear-based addictive energy, because it comes both ways. When you're in addictive energy and you're in mind, you're magnetizing and manifesting things that are not your best and highest good, period. So yes, I'm going to go send the text to my person so that the mind can be a little bit pacified, right? But on the other side, your person's not only running from you, but you're in addictive energy, which sucks. I hate being in addictive energy because addictive energy never goes away. It just keeps going and it gets worse. And then now you've opened up a leak. So what's the leak? Oh, every time I'm in addictive energy, I'm going to send a text. Every time I'm in addictive energy, I'm going to get a reading or watch a reading or feel into ruminate about an experience we had and get stuck in the stories. You've opened up a leak and you're opening it up, and it's only keeping your person further away from you. So what do you do with the push, right? Because we are the positive polarity. We are the only one that pushes. Our person is drawn in when we pull our energy back within ourselves, but the more we push, the more they pull away from the energy. So what could I do instead of wanting to push? Because we already told you we did it 100,000,000 times and it only made them pull, because pushing is not going to make the push stop. It just gets more crazy on the other side of them pulling. And it sucks to be there because they just pull, and you're pushing, and then you're in a loop. It's a loop. Feels like a never-ending loop where you get stuck in over and over and again. And there comes a point, my love, there comes a breaking point. And this is where we want to show you what that looks like. There comes a breaking point where you really have to surrender in your connection, because I'm done with this effing loop. I don't want to go in circles with this person because I don't want to lose myself in myself, right? Let me repeat it because it's deep. I don't want to lose myself in myself, because remember, they're you. So losing yourself there to your person who is you is losing your power in your connection. So instead of pushing, this is why we're here. We want you to be able to neutralize your energy and go within each and every time. And so start to ask yourself, why is this here? Where is this coming from? And you can really feel that need to push and neutralize that part of you that wants to push and go within. Because every single time you're going to want to push, if you feed that addictive energy, I'm telling you straight up, you're going to keep feeding it and feeding it and feeding it and feeding it. And you're not even going to know that you've been leaking and pushing this whole time. And that's why me and Elizabeth she said from the beginning, there's a leak and the leak is wide open. And when the faucet is running, until you stop the push, it's never going to end. The faucet is still leaking a large amount of leak. And a lot of times it takes all the manpower that's been allowing you to open that up from someone that can see it, right? That's why when there's like a leak in a faucet that's stuck, right? It's stuck. It's just leaking nonstop. We need a professional to come in and figure out how to stop the leak. Well, that's where me and Elizabeth, we are experts in this energy, this connection, and we balance it and we can spot it. Hey, I'm sorry, my love, but that's a leak. I'm sorry, you cannot talk to that third party. I'm sorry, it looks like you're ruminating about your connection. I'm sorry, but it looks like you are reaching out to tarot readings every single time you get into mine, or you feel like you're a little bit closer to your person and the mind gets mad and now you're looking for your person and you start looking for them in social media. The leaks are there and you might not even know you're leaking. So that's why we're here to show you. When you start going out, because your person's you, but you start looking for them in that other body, I want you to ask why. Just take a moment and ask, why is the mind looking to them? And I want you to start going within and be conscious, because you are the twin flame that can be conscious of the addictive energy. Your person has no idea that they're coming in and out. They're just matching your energy on the other side because they're you. So you're pushing and they're pulling. They cannot stop the push and pull because they're the subconscious. They're not conscious that there's even a push and pull dynamic happening here. They're not conscious of that there's addictive energy coming from you. They don't know that. You're the only one. And you saying, I'm going to feed the leak, I'm going to feed the addictive energy, is you not taking that consciousness, the part of you that's the positive polarity, that's taking a moment to really harness your energy, because the push and pull energy works the same way no matter what. And so you're going to be the one that has to
Joanne,
pull that energy in. Yeah, go ahead, love.
you know what I always equate this stuff. I told you guys my stuff is my weight and my food issues. I always equate addictive energy to that because it's just what I know. But I remember hearing someone talk, one of the spiritual leaders, I think it might have been Joe Dispenza, I'm not sure, but it was really profound. And it was talking about how, let's say you want, for me, for example, let me use my stuff as an example. I want to start a diet. And I always tell myself, okay, you know what? I'm going to just eat as much as I want today and I'll start it tomorrow. And then I'll start it tomorrow. And the biggest problem is tomorrow never comes because it's always now. And so as long as in the now I'm thinking I'll start tomorrow, well, then tomorrow's never going to be here. And that's the same thing with this question. If I'm just thinking, okay, let me just push a little now and I'll start again right afterwards, that afterwards never comes because it's always now. And if you're always thinking about starting at a later date, that later date never comes because it's always now.
Yes, everything is now. So tomorrow is still mine. Tomorrow is still at mine to solve this now moment. It's looking at tomorrow as the solution of never being present. I'm never going to work on my now moment because I'm too busy trying to figure out a future date that never comes, because tomorrow's not ever going to be here. It's today. Today is the only time that you can ever be conscious of the addictive energy has to be right now. And maybe it takes this video, maybe listening to this video, because you know what I wanted to share with all of you guys? This video might trigger the mind. And I think that's great. If this video makes the mind a little bit shaken up, we did our part. Because we want you guys to be with your twin flame. We're telling you this straight up. We want you to be with your twin flame. So we're not going to feed the mind addictive energy. We're not going to tell the mind it's okay to push. We're not going to tell the mind it's okay to leak. We're actually going to close the leaks. We are going to be your soul besties, right? Your soul sisters that calls out the mind. You're safe here, love. We're never, ever going to help that mind leak. We don't want to be the place that causes you to leak even more. We want to be the place that calls it out straight up and tells you straight up, this is a leak and this is how you can close them. Because the push is not going to stop the pull. The more you push, the more they'll pull. And it doesn't feel good to push because you're still feeding the addictive energy. So it takes this now moment. It takes this now moment to be conscious. Right now, right here with me. Be conscious with me, love. What is causing me to not be present in this now moment? And it's mine. The mind wants to do. The mind wants to control. The mind wants to get somewhere tomorrow when soul is here and now. When soul is trying to give you everything that you want now, and you're trying to, too busy to do everything for it tomorrow when it's never going to arrive. Your soul is now. And so your connection shifts the moment you choose you now. I see this addictive energy that's coming up, and I'm going to ask, why? Why is this doing this? And what am I going to do to make sure that I go within each time it does this? And I'm going to use my little cup of joe, soul sisters, to help me get more soul in my day, because I know what it looks like on the other side. Because you can keep sending the texts. Me and Elizabeth are here to guide you, but it doesn't, it's your spiritual journey, right? So if you want to keep sending the text, you can, but we're showing you what it looks like on the other side when you don't send the texts. Because you know what happens on the other side when you're not sending the texts? You're really, really going within. You're pulling in the energy in. And I want to share with you guys. So this is like a really deep secret in our members only. I shared this, and I don't mind sharing it, even though you're not part of members only, because we share so many beautiful secrets in our members only anyway, that anyone who's in there knows, oh yeah, I remember when Joanne went over that. The biggest revolution that I've had in my connection was when I knew I had to close my leak, right? There was a moment where I really wanted to text my person. It was when I was about to drive on the freeway. I really wanted to text my person. I wanted to text him so bad. And I didn't even care if he read it. I didn't even care if he was going to respond. I just knew I had to text him. I was like, what the heck? Why do I want to text him? And instead of texting him in my drive, I watched this really painful part of me that wanted to leak. And it was filled with so much addictive energy. I literally had to pull over. I pulled over, my loves, and I'm like almost hyperventilating, like fighting the mind from sending a text to my person. And in that moment, instead of texting, I went here in my soul, like deep. I went within. I started to watch the clouds. I started to feel like the driver's seat, right? I started to feel the leather in my seat. I felt my butt on my seat. Like I knew I was sitting there. I was so aware of everything, right? Kind of like when you're meditating and you could feel, they tell you to focus on the body. I was so focused in all of my now moments. And I was just there parked. And I got a text from my person. In that moment, it was like, ding. And I was like, what the heck? This is real. This is so real. I didn't text him. And instead he texted me. My soul contacted my person to come to me because I went within. So this is what we're trying to teach you in this channel, my love. This is what we're trying to teach you next time the mind wants to leak and do. Let your soul do the doing for you. Your person is your soul. Your soul does all the doing. Let your person come to you. So instead of sending the text, instead of leaking out, give yourself that soul energy. Give yourself that moment to wooze that energy out. And that was me woozing out. I parked my car, fighting the mind, and my person texted me in that moment. And that's how I knew, okay, this is real. And I really have to keep balancing and surrendering this, because I don't want anything to come between us. Because if I texted on the other side, he wouldn't have been able to text me. I would have just pushed. He would have pulled more. But you see how it shifted? The connection shifted through me. That's how your connection shifts. Your connection shifts through you, you beautiful soul. We hope this helped you close up some leaks in this video. If this video helped you, we want you to put in the comment down below, I am soul. I am one with my soul, and I surrender my leaks. I surrender my leaks. When you surrender your leaks, it closes up all of that energy that's going to your person, and it allows your soul to bring in your soul to you. Surrender your leaks, my love. This is a safe place where we want to remind you it's okay to surrender your leaks. We love you guys so much. We hope this has helped you shift. We hope this video really helped you get deeper into soul. And we are so excited of being able to help all of you guys get deeper into soul, deeper in your connection. Take a look at our sale below. We love you guys so much. We hope you have an amazing, amazing day. Love you. Bye, love.
Bye, love.